Hello, I'm Danny DeLillo and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Moviemaker magazine. We're here at the Cambridge Los Angeles showroom and I'm here with Jeffrey DeChausse with his movie, Experiment. Let's take a look at a clip.
¿Por qué estás acá?
No sé. Estoy acá.
Bienvenidos al Palacio Barolo. Ha sido edificado precisamente en base a la Divina Comedia. Ya tiene todo. Esto tiene que quedar limpio.
Jeffrey, it's a delight to have you here.
Thanks for having me, thanks.
Tell us a brief synopsis of your film.
My film, Experiment, is a story that is kind of based on the Divine Comedy about a man who's caught between hell and heaven. And he takes a journey from hell to heaven for love. And the building itself that I shot the film in is called Palacio Barolo. And it was based on the Divine Comedy. It's actually an office building, and the architect that built it was an Italian immigrant.
Wow.
And he was 22 years old, and he built this building, and he built it based on the Divine Comedy. So the lobby is hell. There's 22 levels of purgatory, and the top is a lighthouse,
Wow.
and that's heaven.
Wow.
And when I walked into the building, I was there on another project, and I saw the building, I was just, kind of like just overwhelmed how beautiful it was. And when the person that was showing us the building kind of started explaining it to me, I was really curious. So I came back, and I never really read the Divine Comedy, and I read it, and I kind of put together my interpretation of the story, and I went back and shot it in the building.
It's amazing. It's so beautifully shot, and it just looks so great on camera. It's such an enjoyable experience to watch your film.
Yeah.
You've obviously told us a bit about the inspiration. What made you want to go, I need to make this?
Well, I think, for me, it's funny, I've done a few projects in Argentina, and I just love the people that I work with.
Mm-hmm.
And as a filmmaker, you're looking for ways to do things at the highest level with the highest quality people, and to be immersed into the experience of making a film. And that means, making your wardrobe and your art direction and having people to do it. And I think the money in Argentina just goes so much further.
Right.
So I was able to quadruple my money, get very talented people because my money went further. And I love my crew because I worked there before.
Yeah.
And so, that was the reason why I wanted to do the film. But I think the inspiration of the building, I always, I'm just kind of, I think I'm just waiting for things to come to me, and I think,
So inspiration just came to you.
Yeah.
You said about your team,
Yeah.
you had a great team. How did you come about casting, for example?
Oh, it's funny, I don't speak Spanish.
Yeah, that's amazing. We have a director who did an incredible film, doesn't speak Spanish, and it's a Spanish film. I love it.
Well, I think the language of storytelling, right? So, it was interesting, this is more of like an allegory, I wouldn't say it's kind of, it's an exploration. I'm a big fan of Vin Vendor, and to me, this is kind of like my little wings of desire, and I don't think it has to be literal. It's just there's an arc to it, and there's a story to it, but it was really about this poetic journey, and I wanted it to be more of an artistic expression. And
it really is. It's got such a great artistic expression, and takes you on such a journey as well.
I think the building itself is just the architecture. There's so much of that in the building. You can see how much love was put into this building, and the story itself of Dante, being sent to hell and having to work his way through all these layers, and he does it for love. And Beatrice, who is the girl who's in the movie, it's all based on these characters, but it's kind of shot in modern day time, and it's cut down to be a short. But I think as a team, we felt like we were also taking this journey, and we shot in the building, and I think the people in Argentina are just more spiritual, they're just tuned into the love of making art.
Yeah.
And I think it just kind of comes across in the film.
It does, and I love your essence of direction, because there's so many like really nice little moments. Like I love the moment, I'm not going to give anything away, but I love the moments, between this younger guy and the older guy, and there's so much that you can just. I felt without them even saying anything. It didn't even need dialogue, because I just could just capture, what was just in their faces, and then just the way they were, which is just obviously incredible.
Well, it's funny, I think I'm a high energy person, but I think my films are very soft and sensitive.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of a balance.
Good balance.
Yeah, it is, but I think, also, I think when you're, maybe you're not tuned in so much into the language, more of like the visual narrative.
The visual narrative,
and I think the dialogue and everything's there to help push the story, but I think we wanted to kind of help, like the building and his story were running parallel together. And they're both characters within the film.
It really is beautiful. Like, I mean, it's also nice that you got this influence. Well, obviously you spent some time in Argentina. Yeah. So how does a boy from Detroit end up in Argentina? What happened there?
Well, I'm just really fortunate enough to kind of work in other types of films, and I was doing a documentary for a band called Metric, and following the girl writing her album, and that's when I found my crew, and we found the building because I was looking for an overhead of Argentina, and we went to all these different places, and they were just giving us a hard time or trying to throw the cost up, and my producer, Melissa, she took me to this building, and we walked in, and I saw the building, we shot the overhead, and I was there with my crew, and because I wanted to be back with them. I said, I'm going to come back and write a movie in this building.
And they did it. I love it.
And did it. Yeah, well.
Very artistic. I love it. That's very good.
Well, I think, if you're inspired, you can do things, Of
course.
This building inspired me. I think you're always waiting for that next thing. And, I was just really happy to come across this building, and I also just, being moved by the story itself, because I think it's, there's a spirituality to it. I like films that have a sense of spirituality to it.
Well, it certainly had that, and I felt like after I watched it, I felt like I'm adjusted. I'm new. I thought differently now. I think differently how just the morality to the actual film. What's it like after all the hard work that you've put in? You've got all the cast and crew. What's it like to be officially selected for New Filmmakers Los Angeles?
Well, I think it's great just to be able to share your story and to be here in town. And I think what I love about New Filmmakers is it brings a lot of local filmmakers together, and you get to share your work. And for me, I'm always inspired by other people's work, and I always want to go out and I want to be jealous of other people's work,
Be inspired as well, right?
I think that's the most important thing. And also just be around people who are also, in the circus.
In the circus, We're in a kind of circus. That's kind of a good analogy. I like that.
It is, but I think, what I think there's, for me, the most exciting thing about filmmaking for me is the process and the storytelling. And, but to have people get a chance to see it on the big screen and to see and feel the reaction and, hear people, have questions about the film.
Which is great when you get an audience, you can have a chance to hear some of those questions.
Yeah, and it's a great screen, and it's a great, city, and I love downtown Los Angeles.
Yeah,
so
artsy.
It's great to be able to bring art downtown.
For anyone that doesn't know, downtown Los Angeles is like the kind of really cool little artsy district. And, I'm excited to see more of your work, Jeffrey. So what is next for you?
I'm working on my first feature film. I'm from Detroit, and I've written a couple. This is the one I'm doing like an independent feature.
Oh, cool.
So I'm doing that. I have a documentary right now playing around as well.
What's it called?
It's called American Auto. It's about a used car salesman in Detroit. I followed him for like 6 years, and he found God, and he can't screw anybody. And he's
wow. That's a good one to watch.
It's doing really well. It's just really about business and small businesses and in America and how to treat people in business.
Yeah.
And I'm really proud of that film as well. I think I have a whole bunch of projects going on. I always say I have all my horses.
Yeah. Oh, I know that. Yeah.
And I'm trying to give each one the same amount of love.
Yeah.
So
share the love in film, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I think for me, I'm working on my indie feature. I think that's the big thing. I want to be able to have something that that's feasible, and that I can get my crew and work back in my hometown. And that's my plan, is to go back and do that feature film. And I have a couple other shorts. I think for me, I always want to have something that I can shoot. So, trying to do some simple shorts and then just go for the feature.
Well, Jeffrey, I love your work. You've done a really good job, and I'm excited for everyone to see it. And congratulations on your film.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome, Jeffrey.
Cheers.
Thank you.